Tyler, it's a wrap. We meet again. Mookie Hawkins, Buffalo Sports 1080. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I know so much of a difference than last year when we was talking about, you coming here to Buffalo and just tell me a little bit more how Buffalo was able to unlock some of your special talents that you were able not to do up in when you were with the Rams.
Yeah, I think even so for myself on the field this past year with Buffalo's, looked a little different in terms of playing time and my usage throughout the season compared to when the rest of my career with the Rams and stuff. And but any opportunity I got to see the field, I tried to make the most of it. And it was a special year, and obviously I feel very confident in this organization, this team, and felt like it would be the best move to come back here and spend the next few years here. So super pumped about making it happen. Super pumped about getting back to work, and we got some unfinished business to take care of.
Absolutely, man. And, what are some of the things that, learning from Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde that, you're definitely going to, show out there? Obviously, what just the nature of the business of the game, you're the guy, that's handling in the back end. So what are some of the things that you learned from two of the best in Hyde and Poyer?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I can't say enough good things about both those guys. And coming into last year, I didn't know how the dynamic of the room was going to be, how I was going to be viewed as coming in last year on a 1 year deal. And but I mean, those guys took me in right away. They took me under their wing. I can't, like I said, I can't say enough great things about them. And if you want to really they're two of the definition of true pros, and how they approach this game, how they approach their preparation. Obviously they're great players on the field, but even better men, better teammates, and they're my brothers, man. I can't say enough great things about those two guys.
One more, if I can, Tyler. You coming in on a prove it deal, and you proved it, and obviously now you're getting the contract. What would you say to all those guys, that's in free agency this year, that's, that got something to prove about coming to Buffalo? What do you got to say about to those guys?
Yeah, I mean, Buffalo is a special place. I think the rest of the league and the rest of the world is starting to see, over the last few years, especially what this organization and what this team is capable of. We're this locker room is tighter than ever, and I obviously that was one thing I was looking forward to in free agency last year was a place that fit me culture wise, but also fit my talents and my strengths on the field. And I think I found the place that I want to be here for the rest of my career.
Absolutely, man. Buffalo is contagious. Congratulations.
Thanks again.
Hey Taylor, Catherine from the Buffalo News. Congratulations. Just wanted to ask first, what have the last couple of months been like for you, since we last saw you at the end of the season?
Yeah, just obviously a tough way to end the season, and especially for me too, because I wasn't able to get back on the field with the injury that I sustained against Miami in the last regular season game. So obviously a tough way to end the season, and in that playoff loss against Kansas City. But for me personally, just because it was tough for me to be on the sidelines and not be able to be out there with my my teammates and play for the city and play for the organization. It was tough for me, but ever since the season ended, kind of just I headed back to the West Coast, and been kind of just spending some downtime and some good quality time with my wife, and got some plans to go see family up in Washington. And but really just trying to kind of recharge and get ready for this upcoming season, because OTAs are right around the corner next month, literally. So just trying to recharge and get ready for this upcoming year again.
You mentioned just kind of what your role was last season. We're talking to the Bills ahead of this, what did they say that you can share about what your role will look like for this upcoming year? Like, what are they seeing you as?
In terms of like playing time, or what do
Yeah.
you? Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be obviously stepping into a bigger role, and that's something that I take pride in, and like I kind of touched on the last few questions is, last year was a little different for me looking than the rest of my career. My first 4 years, I was used to used to being the guy in the starter, and I'm looking forward to getting back into that role.
What's your relationship like with Bobby Babich? I know he had switched from working to linebackers right before you got there, but just with him stepping into this bigger role, what's it going to be like working more with him?
Yeah, I mean, he's the type of guy that, you can feel his energy. The first second, first minute that you spend with him, and I knew his energy, and everything was so contagious. The first time I really spent time with him during OTAs, and his energy is just unmatched, and looking forward to excited about his opportunity, with the promotion, and becoming the defensive coordinator, and looking forward to working with him, and working a little more closely to him. Obviously last year with him being the linebackers coach, obviously got to spend time with him, and linebackers and DBs work very closely, back seven, and but yeah, I'm looking forward to the opportunity to work with him from this dynamic.
Thanks, Taylor. Congrats again.
Thank you.
Hey Taylor, congrats. Coming off Catherine's question, I was curious, there's new coaches too in the secondary. Just have you been able to have any conversations there, or kind of what has that communication been like so far?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a new conversation with the new corners coach, but looking forward to meeting him and spend some time with him. I've heard great things about him, so obviously every season there's a little bit of coaching turnover, and so just excited to meet all the new coaches, and excited to get to work with them.
I guess you kind of obviously talked about like Jordan and Micah and the impact they had, but I'm curious, like, how do you kind of view maybe your role going into this season with, those guys are captains and that kind of thing? Like, do you take on more of a leadership role? Like, do you view anything in that way, obviously, as a veteran coming back into this group?
Yeah, definitely. I've got to be able to take a more of a leadership role, like you said, and that's something that I'm looking forward to. And last year looked a little different, like I touched on the last few questions, from a lot of different angles, and kind of just feeling my feet, and kind of being the new guy and stuff, like and then obviously Micah and Jordan been around organization in the team for 7 years, and so. It just looked a little different than last year, but definitely, the leadership role that I'm gonna have to take this year is somewhat I'm looking forward to, and really excited about.
Cool. Congrats again.
Thank you.
Hey, just wanted to follow up a bit on, you've mentioned how last year was different so many times. What do you think are some things you learned about yourself during that year?
Yeah, I mean, I think last year was one of the harder years that I've had to deal with, just from a whole bunch of different angles, and I had stuff going on personally, and family wise, but also with football, and the role that I'm not necessarily used to, that I was with it last year. So first of all, I don't think I would have you know wanted any different. I wouldn't want it any other way, just because of I'm a true believer in all the adversity and all the hard stuff that you go through is going to pay off. And some of the things I was able to learn last year about myself is going to pay huge dividends for my future wisdom, future basically everything coming up in the future. And so I went through a lot last year, and really looking forward to being able to use those valuable lessons and valuable information that I gained last year into this next year, but also for the rest of my career. And even after football, you know, some of the lessons I learned, it was really incredible.
I think that's a really good perspective, but it can be hard to get to that sometimes. Is there a point during the season where you started to feel that a bit more of like, hey, this is hard, but it's going to help me?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's very human nature to be resistant against you know, opening up to that growth. But I think some of the greatest growth that everyone will admit to is when they went through the hardest times and the toughest times they went through life. And you know, that's kind of what I went through last year. And you know, just the stuff that I was able to overcome. And I know that I'm becoming a better player, a better person from it. And you know, like you said, it's very hard to you know, get past that point. It's very, you resist it, but you know, I don't remember exactly a time throughout the season when I did, but I knew that I was able to break through that barrier. So yeah, all good on that front.
Awesome. Appreciate that perspective. Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.